Cold Fusion Nuclear Power, and the King James Version English Bible Code. This is a video on cold fusion nuclear power from the Revelation13.net website, a site where Bible prophecy, astrology, and the King James Version English Bible Code are discussed in trying to predict future world events. Here we will discuss the possibility of cold fusion becoming a practical source of energy for the world, generating unlimited energy from the deuterium in seawater. The Bible Code is a way of looking for hidden prophecies and passages in the Bible by using a software program to search for messages in the Old Testament Hebrew text. The spaces between the words are eliminated so that the Old Testament is a continuous block of Hebrew letters. Then, by skipping letters at a programmed interval, the program searches for words. There appear to be patterns to the passages where the words are found. This has previously been done a lot in the Hebrew Bible, in Hebrew, which is the Christian Bible Old Testament. On the Revelation13.net site, there is a discussion of research on an English Bible code in the King James Version Bible, using Bible code software on a PC. Code Finder Millennium Edition software was used, which does equidistant letter sequence, ELS, searches in the King James Version English Bible, as well as Hebrew Old Testament searches. This Bible code software searched for words and phrases in the King James Version New Testament and Old Testament separately. There is evidence of English Bible code patterns that the software found by skipping varying intervals in the King James Old Testament or New Testament, made into a block of solid text in what is called a matrix. In the news in recent years has been the subject of cold fusion. This is a highly debated subject in the world of physics that has been studied for 15 years. Most scientists who have studied it say it is bad science, but there are a number of scientists with impressive qualifications who have studied cold fusion for years and who claim they have found proof of its existence. Supposedly, cold fusion is a form of controlled nuclear fusion energy that produces small amounts of energy using heavy water, which is water with hydrogen in the form of its heavier isotope deuterium, and the metal palladium or titanium. Supposedly, tritium is sometimes produced by cold fusion, it being another isotope of hydrogen that is radioactive. Water is composed of oxygen and hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen has 3 forms shown here. The simplest form has 1 proton in the nucleus, and heavy water has deuterium for hydrogen, deuterium having a proton and a neutron in the nucleus, and tritium has a proton and 2 neutrons in the nucleus. This chart shows what may happen in cold fusion. The deuterium in heavy water is absorbed into a palladium metal electrode where it appears to undergo nuclear fusion. Resulting from this cold fusion may be helium, consisting of 2 neutrons and 2 protons, or tritium plus a proton, or helium-3 plus a neutron. Energy results from cold fusion because the atoms that result from fusion weigh less than the deuterium nuclei that were fused, with the missing mass resulting in large amounts of heat energy. This is because Einstein's equation, E equals mc squared, where mass m times the speed of light c squared equals the energy output E from the missing mass. This equation is the basis of the atomic bomb and the hydrogen bomb. In nuclear fission, the atomic bomb, uranium or plutonium atoms are split by a neutron, and the resulting atomic nuclei weigh less than the original atoms, resulting in energy. Neutrons are also emitted that split other uranium or plutonium nuclei, resulting in a nuclear fission chain reaction and a nuclear explosion. In the hydrogen bomb, deuterium or tritium nuclei are fused together, and this results in missing mass and energy produced. There has been an expensive effort costing billions of dollars to harness nuclear fusion in a nuclear hot fusion power reactor, but so far this hot fusion reactor program has had little success. Cold fusion represents a completely different approach to nuclear fusion power. Here we will try using the King James Version Bible code to look at cold fusion. The Bible's last chapter, the book of Revelation, may be talking about cold fusion in Revelation 21:6, where it says, "I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely." Alpha and Omega is a symbol for Christ. Perhaps the water of life may have multiple meanings, one of which could be heavy water containing deuterium, used in the future of cold fusion power plants to produce unlimited energy. This King James Bible code matrix in Psalm 26:5 to Job 16:4 contains tritium at an ELS equaling 7373, and the words energy, power, and cold, and also these applicable words and phrases: "A fire not blown shall consume, mighty do they that know, mighty will he, which I see not teach thou me. They had found no answer, which I knew not is searched out. Ashes, light, scorn," apparently referring to the scorn received by the scientists who have seriously studied cold fusion. Also in the matrix, the phrases and word bars of iron, brass, and gold. This could be a clue that iron bars, gold, and brass could somehow help achieve cold fusion energy. And this matrix may be saying that cold fusion can work and will become an important area of science one day. Also, note that iron, brass, and gold are metals mentioned in the book of Daniel 2:31 to 45, where a statue made of metals describes kingdoms to come in the future. Perhaps that passage relates to these metals, iron, silver, gold, and brass, and also clay being used in cold fusion power. Note in 2:31 the phrase, "whose brightness was excellent," implies light and power. In Daniel 2:31 to 45, King James Version, "Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them, and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth." This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. "Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the heaven, hath he given thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them. Thou art this head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Here is the same matrix with the words tritium with an ELS equaling 7373 at Job 10:18 to Psalm 33:5, and energy, power, cold, and some other words are shown in it. Water, atom, Pons. Cold fusion was originally discovered by Pons and Fleischmann. The phrases bars of iron, pieces of brass, your wisdom, and the words prosperity, cold fusion could help bring prosperity, truth, and the phrase who knoweth not such things, possibly about the cold fusion skeptics. This may indicate iron and brass could help produce cold fusion. This Old Testament matrix is at Exodus 34:7 to 37:28 and contains the words fusion with an ELS equaling -1690, cold, power, cathode, heavy, water, and also silver, brass, and gold. So it also indicates the metals of Daniel 2:31 to 45 could be important to cold fusion. The phrase 4 pillars in this matrix may indicate an arrangement of electrodes in 4 pillars. The phrases overlaid them with gold may indicate gold could be an overlaid layer on the electrodes. The phrase anointing oil may indicate some kind of oil could be in the liquid used in cold fusion. This matrix is in the Old Testament in Daniel at Daniel 2:37 to 11:7, and therefore is of particular interest. It contains the word fusion with an ELS equaling 2929, cold, and power. Also in this matrix are the words and phrases beast and the 10 horns, referring to the beast also called the Antichrist in the Bible's book of Revelation, chapter 13, End Times Prophecy, the burning flame, fire, the appearance of lightning. This New Testament matrix is at Romans 14:6 to 1 Timothy 4:10, and it contains the word infinite with an ELS equaling 8642, power, cold, atom, water, and heat. It seems to also be about a cold fusion producing large amounts of energy in the future. Also consider that palladium is element atomic number 46 in the periodic table of elements. In Greek, the language of the Bible's New Testament and the book of Revelation, words can be associated with numbers because each letter is also a number. So a word can be associated with a number by totaling the letter numbers. So, for example, the name Adam, who was the first man, each letter in Greek equals the following number. Alpha equals 1, delta equals 4, alpha equals 1, mu equals 40, and the total is 46. Note that the name of Adam, the first man in the Bible, totals 46, and also man has 46 chromosomes. So, with the number 46, we can associate 46 with man. And note Revelation 13:18 about the beast, the Antichrist, who appears during the end time events described in the book of Revelation as a miracle-working satanic imitation of Christ. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, 666. Could the number of a man be 46? So could 46 and 666 somehow be numbers that are clues to making cold fusion work, indicating that palladium, which is element 46, and possibly dysprosium, the atomic number 66, should be used to make cold fusion work? In conclusion, the King James Version English Bible Code does appear to predict that cold fusion will one day be used for unlimited energy generation, and appears to have clues about how to make cold fusion work.